Hello students, I am going to analyze a CAT 2021 Slot 1 reading comprehension passage based on a book review. The name of the book is A Thirst for Empire and it is related to the history of tea. Before I analyze the questions, let's take a quick snapshot of the passage. The first sentence of this passage is very important for us because this is the sentence that tells us that this is a book review. Let's read the first sentence now. The sleights of hand that conflate consumption with virtue are a central theme in A Thirst for Empire, a sweeping and richly detailed history of tea by the historian Erika Rappaport. Now you can very clearly see that the subject of the sentence is this: the sleights of hand that conflate consumption with virtue, which means the cleverness with which consumption is combined with virtue or moral values. This is the central theme of a book written by Erika Rappaport. This is what the author is telling us. So to say, there are basically two authors in this particular passage, as in related to this particular passage. One who has written this book, A Thirst for Empire, and the author of this passage who has presented the book review. If you can clearly understand what points relate directly to the author of the passage and which opinions relate to what Erika Rappaport, the author of the book A Thirst for Empire, has to say, your job is done. अगर आप ये फर्क कर पा रहे हैं बहुत ही क्लियरली कि A Thirst for Empire जिसने लिखा है एरिका रैपापोर्ट, उसके क्या ओपिनियंस हैं और ऑथर ऑफ द पैसेज जो है उसके क्या व्यूज हैं, अगर ये फर्क आप कर पा रहे हैं then your job is done. Okay, so keep this in mind. The second paragraph talks about consumer directed marketing by importers and retailers, and then many brands also indulge in the same thing. Okay, like, and he gives examples like farm to table, है ना, मतलब आसाम की बगानों से चाय सीधे आपके घर पे आ गई. Such kind of advertisements were there. From the garden to teacup, such ad campaigns were done. Right? So, like this, the author is saying is consumer directed marketing. But the last sentence is of great importance. While tea marketing always presented direct consumer benefits, tea drinkers were also assured that they were participating in a larger noble project that advanced the causes of family, nation and civilization. ये हमें कौन समझा रहा है? ये author समझा रहा है आपको. Right? And you see this last sentence of this paragraph is related to the theme that was introduced in the first paragraph. वो central theme क्या है इसमें? The sleights of hand that conflate consumption with virtue. है ना? The cleverness that combine consumption with virtue. है ना? जो marketing कर रहे हैं चाय की, उनकी जो चालाकी है वो किसमें है? टी के कंजम्पशन को वो मॉरल वर्च्यूज के साथ कंबाइन कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, कन्फ्लिक्ट का मतलब होता है कंबाइन. यस और सो हियर इफ यू लुक एट इट, दैट्स व्हाट इज टेकिंग प्लेस. टी मार्केटिंग हैज कंबाइंड टी कंजम्पशन with a larger noble project. So once you understand this, you can link the second paragraph with the main theme of the passage. Correct? In the third paragraph, I want you to understand something. See, the first sentence. What does the author say? Rappaport's treatment of a subject is refreshingly apolitical. So, refreshingly apolitical, as in उसने इस तरह से उस सब्जेक्ट को प्रेजेंट किया है, द हिस्ट्री ऑफ टी को, कि इट्स अवे फ्रॉम पॉलिटिक्स, एज इन द पॉलिटिकल ओरिएंटेशन. लेकिन साथ ही दूसरे सेंटेंस में व्हाट इज ही सेइंग? Indeed, it is a virtue that readers will be unable to guess her political orientation. So, उसका सब्जेक्ट का ट्रीटमेंट ऐसा है कि रीडर को उसका पॉलिटिकल ओरिएंटेशन समझ नहीं आएगा. So, therefore, both the miracle of markets, I mean, a part of political orientation, both the miracle of markets and capitalism's dark underbelly are evident in tea's complex story. So, this is author's opinion, right? As are the complicated effects of ब्रिटिश colonialism. तो बेसिकली वो ये बताना चाह रहा है कि चाय के पीछे का इतिहास हैज डार्कनेस इन इट, जो कि इस ऑथर ने छुपा लिया है. यस और नो? दैट इज द ऑथर्स ओपिनियन अबाउट दिस बुक. ओके, लेट्स गो फर्दर नाउ. कमोडिटी हिस्ट्रीज आर नाउ देमसेल्व्स कमोडिटीज. ये किसका ओपिनियन? ऑथर का ओपिनियन. Recent works investigate cotton, salt, cord, sugar, chocolate, paper and milk. All of these, so commodity की जो हिस्ट्री है वो खुद एक कमोडिटी बन गई, एंड मोरालिटी मार्केटिंग इज नाउ अ कमोडिटी एज वेल. सो वेदर it is commodity histories or morality marketing, both have become commodities which can be sold in the market. मतलब लोग ये जान गए हैं कि मोरालिटी को बेचा जा रहा है. एंड सी दिस इज ऑथर्स ओपिनियन. तो यहां तक ऑथर का ओपिनियन है. एंड देन स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम हियर, येट टी इज, Rappaport makes clear a world apart, an astonishing success story in which tea marketers not only succeeded in conveying a sense of moral elevation to the consumer, but also arguably did advance the cause of civilization and community. ये जो ओपिनियन है, ये ऑथर के हिसाब से रैपरपोर्ट का ओपिनियन है, राइट? सो व्हाट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड हियर, एज आई एक्सप्लेन टू यू अर्लियर ऑल्सो, दैट through a contrast, here author explains to us what Rappaport has to say. हाँ? तो ऑथर एक तरफ बता रहे हैं कि टी का जो बैकग्राउंड है, उसके पीछे की जो पॉलिटिक्स है, उसके पीछे जो कैपिटलिज्म का एस्पेक्ट है, वो अपनी जगह है ना. लाइक कमोडिटी हिस्ट्रीज हो चाहे मॉरलिटी मार्केटिंग हो, वो सारी कमोडिटीज होती हैं. इसके बावजूद भी रैपरपोर्ट का कहना है कि tea marketers have been successful in conveying a sense of moral elevation. So then this becomes the main point of the paragraph. Do you understand this? Now you will do well to understand that the last paragraph presents author's opinion. See, I have been offered tea at a British garden party. कौन है ये I? The author, right? So now I hope the basic idea that I started with, the author का opinion कहाँ है, Rappaport का opinion कहाँ है, क्या नहीं. So right, that portion is clear to you, that point is clear to you. With this clarity in mind, now we can start analyzing the questions. Let's take a look at the questions now. The author of this book review is least likely to support the view that. In order to find out the option that the author is least likely to support, let us first figure out the options that the author is most likely to support. That way we can eliminate those options. Let's see. Option 1 and 2, I think, can be eliminated quite easily upon reading the last paragraph of the passage. Let's go back to the last paragraph. Let's read it now. I have been offered tea at a British garden party, a Bedouin campfire, a Turkish carpet shop, and a Japanese shashitsu. Oh, I think I should pronounce it as chashitsu, to name a few settings. Which means this sentence basically talks about various settings and in various places and countries that the author was offered tea. So he'll definitely agree with the point that tea, as a matter of fact, has become a social culture worldwide. He will agree with this. Based on this, we can say this, right? Okay. So this makes the case for the option number 2. Yes or no? तो ऑप्शन नंबर 2 तो डिराइव हो गया कि वो एग्री करेगा. टी ड्रिंकिंग हैज बिकम अ सोशल रिचुअल वर्ल्ड वाइड. ऑप्शन 2, द ऑथर इज मोस्ट लाइकली टू एग्री. इसको हम एलिमिनेट करेंगे. ओके, लेट्स गो फर्दर नाउ. इन ईच केस द ऑफरिंग वाज मोर एन आइडिया, फ्रेंडशिप, कम्युनिटी, रिस्पेक्ट देन अ ड्रिंक. Which means that the consumption of tea was related to friendship, community, and respect. So this can be related to the first option. Take a look. The ritual of drinking tea promotes congeniality and camaraderie. Congeniality, which means friendliness, and camaraderie, which means companionship. So both of these can be derived from that sentence that we just now read. The author will agree with this statement also, right? So now, as I already told you, we can easily eliminate options 1 and 2. Let's read option 3. Tea became the leading drink in Britain in the 19th century. Option 3 relates to the commercial aspect of the consumption of tea, right? Okay, just keep this in mind. Option 4, tea drinking was sometimes promoted as a patriotic duty. This is mentioned by the author in the first paragraph, last line. Take a look. During the Second World War, tea service was presented as a social and patriotic activity that uplifted soldiers and calmed refugees. So this clearly makes the case for this option. The author will agree with option 4 also. Now we are left only with option 3. Well, in the exam scenario, by now you would have marked the option. But just to confirm and to understand things fully, option 3 is the only one that does not talk about social or the moral aspects related to tea. It only talks about the commercial aspect. Therefore, it does not relate to the author's opinion in the passage. That is why the author is least likely to support the view. We can say that 3 is the correct option. Let's analyze the next question. Today, conflating consumption with virtue can be seen in the marketing of. This is an extension-based question. Right? The concept of conflating consumption with virtue has already been explained in the passage. Based on that, you're supposed to apply that concept to the options given and figure out which option gels with the concept. कौन सा ऑप्शन ऐसा है जो इस कॉन्सेप्ट से जुड़ता है, किससे? conflating consumption with virtue. तो पहले देख लें वो कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है. We already know it although. Just to reinforce, conflating consumption with virtue का मतलब है टी कंजम्पशन को वर्च्यू से जोड़ा जा रहा है. Tea is being marketed in such a way that people get a feeling that they are virtuous, they have good qualities, and they are contributing to the society in some way or the other. ऐसा दिखाया जा रहा है. That is conflating consumption with virtue. अब ये किस प्रोडक्ट में दिखेगा? That's what you need to figure out as given in the options. So let's take a look at the options now. Option 1. Ergonomically designed products. Ergonomically designed products are designed to work smoothly. So ergonomics is related to work. So it doesn't seem to relate to virtue in any case, right? So option 2, sustainably farmed foods. Yes, you can think about this option because sustainably farmed foods को अगर कोई कंज्यूम कर रहा है तो वो वर्चुअस भी हो सकता है क्योंकि he is supporting the cause of the society. So sustainable foods support the cause of the society. So if a consumer does this, if a consumer purchases such products, he is contributing to the society. So this can be seen as a virtue. Second can be the correct option. Option 3, natural health supplements. This benefits a person, but it is not associated with virtue. This you can clearly see. Travel to pristine destinations. This can at best provide peace of mind, and it is not related to virtue. And therefore, we are left with only option 2. Right? Option 2 is the correct option. Let's analyze the next question. This book review argues that, according to Rappaport, tea is unlike other morality products because, if you remember, we very clearly understood that the author presents tea as an exception to the other morality products. While the other morality products were not successful in establishing morality, tea achieved great success. Right? So, in that manner, tea was unlike other morality products. ये हमको याद है, right? Just to cross check, let's go back to that paragraph. We already understood this paragraph in detail. I'll read only the relevant portion now. And morality marketing is now a commodity as well, applied to food, fair trade, apparel, and ecotourism. You see, he's talking about other products where morality marketing has become a commodity and it's not successful. But as far as tea is concerned, yes, it is successful. That comes forth in the next sentence. Yet tea is an astonishing success story. So this connects with the question very well. So why is tea unlike other morality products? Because it was successful in promoting morality. Yes or no? So 1 and 2 can be easily eliminated. Option 1 देखो क्या बोल रहा है? Was actively encouraged by interest groups in the government. This cannot be the option because this does not further or promote morality. Was marketed by wide range of interest groups. इससे भी morality interest groups अगर इसको market कर रही है तो उससे भी morality promote नहीं हो रही है. तो ये option भी eliminate हो गया. Option 3 had an actual beneficial effect on social interaction and society in general. Yes, This can be the only correct option because this directly promotes morality. And the author mentions this in the last paragraph of the passage. I have been offered tea in British Garden Party. In each case, the offering was more an idea, friendship, community, respect. It's not a stretch to say that tea marketers have advanced the particularly noble cause of human dialogue and friendship. So this has actually happened according to the author, right? So that's why 3 is the correct option, right? Fourth option को देखिए, appeal to a universal group and not just a niche section of people. So this says that it appealed to a universal group and not to a special group of people, but it is not related to morality in any case. This is an unrelated option. 1 and 2 eliminated, 4 eliminated because it is unrelated. Option 3, as I have already explained to you, is the correct option. Take a look at the next question now. According to this book review, A Thirst for Empire says that in addition to profit motivated marketers, tea drinking was promoted in Britain by all of the following except. Let's go back to the passage to figure it out. This is the relevant point here. The answer in brief revolves around this conflation, not only by profit motivated marketers, but a wide variety of interest groups. We very well know which those interest groups are. It's mentioned in this paragraph. Right? But even without looking at this paragraph, you can figure out the answer. You know how? Let's go back to the question now. हमें देखना क्या है, प्रॉफिट मोटिवेटेड मार्केटर्स के अलावा वो कौन से इंटरेस्ट ग्रुप्स होंगे who wanted to promote tea, right, or who were promoting tea. ठीक है. So what we can quickly figure out is in options 1, 2 and 3 all are related to production or manufacturing sector. Only in option 4 tea drinkers or consumers are being talked about. So consumers cannot be a part of the interest group promoting tea. It's very clear. Therefore, option 4 should be the correct option. But if you want to be doubly sure, I'll take you back to the passage and you can see that options 1, 2 and 3 are given in paragraph 2. Beginning in the 1700s, the temperance movement advocated for tea as a pleasure that cheered but did not inebriate. So that cheered but did not inebriate. Inebriate means to intoxicate. It cheered but did not intoxicate. उससे नशा नहीं होगा. तो इससे पता चलता है कि एंटी अल्कोहल लॉबी जो थी उन्होंने इसको प्रमोट किया. Factory owners joined in, compelled by the cause of a sober workforce. So this brings forth option 2. Factories to instill sobriety in their labor. This segment was also the promoters of tea. They were one of the interest groups. Industrialists soon borrowed this moral judgment in advancing their case for free trade in tea. This brings forth option 3, which says manufacturers who were pressing for duty-free imports were also a part of the interest groups. So this is what they are doing. They want to advance their case for free trade in tea. So which means that they were pressing for duty-free imports. Right? This can be derived from here. Therefore, all these 3 options are given. The correct answer is option 4.